Welcome to Morning Joan, the podcast where we spill all the tea on the latest news and trends. We've got a lot to dish about, but first, let's talk about the passing of Grey's Anatomy and Euphoria star Eric Dane. The actor died last Thursday at the age of 53, less than a year after he publicly revealed his diagnosis with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, or ALS. Now I know what you're thinking, another celebrity gone too soon. But here's what's really interesting. Before his death, Eric Dane participated in a Netflix show called Famous Last Words, where he sat down for an interview that was released posthumously. In the interview, he talks about his life, his career, and his struggles with ALS. But what's really beautiful is the message he leaves for his daughters, Billy and Georgia. Apparently, Eric Dane dedicated a significant portion of the interview to talking to his girls, sharing stories about their time together, and offering words of wisdom. He even jokes about how much he hated watching The Nutcracker with them. I mean, who can relate? But in all seriousness, it's clear that Eric Dane was a devoted father, and his love for his daughters is truly inspiring. And speaking of support, a GoFundMe campaign has been set up to help Eric Dane's family, particularly his wife Rebecca Gayhart and their two daughters. The campaign has already raised over $415,000, with donations coming in from all over the world, including from some big names in Hollywood. It just goes to show that even in death, Eric Dane is still making an impact. His legacy will live on through his work, but also through the love and support he's inspired in others. We'll be right back with more tea on Morning Joan. Welcome back to Morning Joan. We're diving into a shocking story that's left the entertainment industry reeling. You might have heard about the tragic death of renowned director Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle Singer Reiner. The couple was found stabbed to death in their Los Angeles home back in December, and their son, Nick Reiner, has been charged with their murder. Now Nick, who's 32 years old, has a history of struggling with addiction and mental illness. He even collaborated with his father on a film called Being Charlie, which was loosely based on his own experiences. But what's really striking about this case is that Nick was under a conservatorship for a year in 2020 due to his mental health issues. And get this, he was reportedly prescribed medication used to treat schizophrenia just before the killings. The night before the bodies were found, the Reiner family attended a Christmas party at Conan O'Brien's home, where Rob and Nick were heard arguing. I mean, can you imagine attending a festive gathering one night, only to wake up to such devastating news the next day? It's just heartbreaking. Nick's lawyer has urged the public not to rush to judgment in this case, and we should definitely keep that in mind as more details unfold. The district attorney's office is still deciding whether to pursue the death penalty, and Nick is expected to appear in court again on April 29th. This story is a sobering reminder of the complexities of mental health and the devastating consequences that can occur when things go terribly wrong. Our thoughts are with the Reiner family and their loved ones during this incredibly difficult time. Welcome back to Morning Joan, darlings. We're wrapping up today's show with a tale of two scandalous stories from the Emerald Isle. Can you believe it? First off, we have the children of prominent publican Charlie Chawke, Alison and Bill, pleading guilty to assault causing harm at the posh Dunraven Arms Hotel in Adare, Limerick. I mean, this hotel has hosted royalty, US presidents, and Hollywood A-listers, for goodness sake. You'd think the Chawke siblings would know how to behave themselves, but nope. They were allegedly involved in a brawl that included eye-gouging, kicking, and biting. Yes, biting. It's like something out of a bad mafia movie. And to make matters worse, they're from a well-respected family in the community. I suppose you could say they've brought shame to the Chawke name. And if that's not enough, we have another story about twin brothers, Eric and Sean Farrell, who pleaded guilty to the manslaughter of a Romanian man, Ionel Nicolae Diaconu, in Tallaght, Dublin. Now, these brothers were only 19 at the time of the killing, and their lawyers are asking for probation reports. I mean, I'm all for second chances, but come on. They've taken someone's life, and now they're looking for a slap on the wrist? It's just not right. You know, darlings, these stories just go to show that no matter where you come from or who your family is, you can still make terrible choices. And let me tell you, I'm all about holding people accountable for their actions. No one is above the law, regardless of their social status or family connections. That's all for today's Morning Joan. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay fabulous.